Each week our goal is to give you at least one suggestion that will make your life a little better. Remember, this is for informational purposes only and should not be taken as medical advice. Always seek the guidance of your medical professional. My name is Phil George. I'm a clinical biochemist, certified personal trainer, and a health coach. And Art, please introduce yourself.
Yeah, Art Paquette. I'm station manager here at LCAC, but I have a lot of questions. I've had a lot of medical procedures done, and I've talked to Phil about different things, and he's made me a little bit more relaxed when you're having these things done.
And we've had a lot of medical professionals on the show. Dr. Roos.
Oh, wonderful people. Wonderful. Every one of them.
We've had a lot of medical.
Smart people. Yeah, very good.
And this is actually going to be part two. We did a first part where we talked about Art and his struggles with the high blood pressure. And I'm going to just jump in quickly. These are a couple of supplements. If you want to learn about them, just look into part one. But this is basically what they call nitric oxide, which is a vasodilator. It just means it opens up your blood vessels, makes them more relaxed. And you had mentioned during the break that they were giving you something that said if you have any kind of heart pain, take this pill. And I mentioned to Art, I can guarantee you it's nitric oxide, because this is what they give people when they have a heart attack. It's nitric oxide. So this is something you can get actually. You can email me, philgeorge@charter.net. It's not a prescription. It's a supplement. It's nitric oxide. Opens it up. And this here is beets, and eat beets is a precursor to nitric oxide. It just means it enables it to make nitric oxide. So again, go to part one if you want to hear about the high blood pressure. So, and again, we want to mention, I don't know any of these questions, so I'm just getting it blind. So I don't know what you're going to ask me. So, any other particular questions you have, Art?
Well, I think that the medical, since you've been doing it, how long have you been a biochemist?
Wow, I worked 20 years in the hospital, maybe 40 years?
Yeah, in your 40 years, is medicine, really life expectancy in that 40 years has been extended through medical procedures, a different type of supplements, and supplements seem to be a big thing. And when you turn on TV, you always see these ads on for this and that, and you say, wow. But is that true that the medical has progressed and life expectancy is prolonged now?
Yes and no.
Okay.
You like that answer? Yes and no. Okay.
That's what I get out of my wife. Yes or no, depending. Go ahead.
Okay. There's basically age span. In other words, how long you're going to live, but then there's health span. How long are you healthy? A lot of people, they spend, you know what most of the Medicare dollars are spent on? Just the last couple of years of life. Because they're in a nursing home, they're in ICU, they're in this, they're in that. One of the things is, I like to say, first of all, I don't want to be living to well, I'm almost 80 years old now, I can't even say, to 90 or 100 years old and be in diapers and have IVs not being able to walk, having people push you around in a wheelchair. I mean, nobody wants to live like that. No. So yeah, they can keep you alive for a lot longer. As I mentioned on the first part, Dr. Emily was on the show. She's a holistic healthcare practitioner. She's also a nurse practitioner, and she's a PhD, and she's worked in ICU. My friend Kelly Hamilton, she's a current ICU nurse. And they're taking care of people. They're basically, they're warehousing them, right? They're in bed, they get the IV in them, they got a thing on their mat, and they're basically like a vegetable.
Right.
I mean, I don't know about you, I don't want to live like that. So yeah, no. They can keep you alive for a lot longer. If you ever heard something called life support?
I've heard the term. I didn't know really what it encompasses.
So, in other words, you ever hear the expression, pull the plug?
Yeah, oh yeah.
It means the only reason you're alive, Art, is because you're plugged into all these machines. You get a ventilator that's making you breathe. You get something that's making your heart going. You get something going. So you're basically, you're alive because of those machines. Those machines can keep you alive for a really, really long time. I'll give you actually a real life personal story from my sister also teaches nursing, and she's a nurse. So my mother, she was only 60-something years old, and she had something called DIC, that stands for disseminated intravascular coagulation. That's a fancy word. That just means you're throwing...
I'm not going to repeat it.
You're throwing clots all over your body. You know, clots here, clot in the brain, clot in the heart, and basically everything's clotted up. It's like a water hose, everything's clotted up. You just basically you're throwing clots all over your body, stroke and everything else. So my poor mother, she was in the hospital, 60-something years old, and my sister again, she was a nurse, and they said, we can keep your mother alive indefinitely with these machines, but she's never coming out of it. What do you want us to do? So my sister and I talked about it. Now, I know my mother does not, and I'll tell you what, Art, that if it happens to me, you have the right to pull the plug on me, okay?
I've been trying to do that for weeks, but the extension cord keeps sticking in there. Go ahead.
So I know we pulled the plug, okay, and my mother, she died. I mean, I don't want to keep her. I don't want to. She wouldn't want to be kept alive just because. But you're not. Are you really alive at that point? The machine's really keeping you alive. So there's health span, and then there's age span. They're finding out. People, just look around you. Now, you're how old?
77.
Okay, there's not many 77-year-olds in your health and your shape. I mean, look around you. Probably not many 50 or 60-year-olds in your kind of shape.
Yeah. Well, I do exercise and I keep my weight down. Of course, I had open heart surgery. I had my neck sliced open, and so I'm lucky to be here, to really be honest with you. But I never really thought about. I don't know. I'm a positive thinker, I guess.
No, but you've done. I think one of the things, and you had the knee surgery too, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you recovered from that knee surgery really, really well, right?
Yeah. It was great.
Now, did the doctor tell you why he thought you recovered so well from that surgery?
Yeah. Well, they mentioned that I'm active and I was young and I had 3 jobs at the time, and they said, you're a perfect candidate for this. And even my heart, they came in, and I didn't know the heart thing was such a big deal. I mean, I thought, they're going to operate. Maybe they're going to go up and do a little. Oh no, they replace your heart with a machine. And then they're working on it because they got to have that muscle stop. They can't be working on the thing that's beating, and I'm there. When I ever woke up, that was a different story. That was a little yikes. So you got stuff in your neck hanging in here, and you got tubes out of here, you got electrical things on you, and you're saying, holy, I didn't sign up for this. But a couple of days later, got up, started walking around, and felt good. But they did say before I went in one of the male nurses came up and just said, if my mother had the same problem, I would do exactly what they're going to do to you, because you're in great shape and she's in great shape. Now, if you weren't in great shape and you had a lot of different things, different story. But the odds of me living through that operation were pretty good.
Because of that. And what my take was from it, so basically the largest muscles in your body, let's talk about your knee first. Largest muscles in your body is your glutes, your rump. That's the largest. And then there's something called the quadriceps, which is the front muscle right here, the thigh muscle. Mm-hmm. Those are the 2 largest muscles in your body.
Oh, really?
That's what's supporting your knee. Your knee is basically what they call a fulcrum, right? Like in a car, like an angle, right? It goes straight down. So for each pound you have up here is 3 pounds on your knee.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, in other words, if you weigh 300 pounds, that's basically 900 pounds on your knee. Okay. So that has to absorb, and you has to absorb all of that shock on that knee. But because your quadriceps and your glutes are so strong, it supported the knee. You know what I mean? Because the muscle is supporting it.
All right, yeah.
Because you've seen a skeleton, right? There's no muscle, just a skeleton, Mm-hmm. So the only thing holding that skeleton up are the muscles, right? So what happens is, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but you're basically, you ran a big car thing, And I'm guessing you're squatting down, you're picking things up, or you're squatting.
Yeah.
You're not doing it as exercise, you're doing it as a normal part of your normal
day.
activity.
Right.
So it's not that hour you spend in the gym, it's that daily activity you do over and over again. And you're very active. You're going here, you're walking, you're doing this, you're bending at things. So you're constantly stressing those muscles. So now when they do the knee replacement, your muscles are strong enough to basically hold it up. And that's the reason why you recovered so well, okay? The other thing we talked about, your heart is a muscle, okay? Again, you're doing a lot of stuff. So even though you had the strain on the heart, what happened is it would be just like if, let's say you fell down the stairs, okay, and you hurt yourself. You, as opposed to another 70-something-year-old that's very sedentary, hasn't done anything, you're going to recover 10 times better than he is. Because his muscles are already weak to begin with. You're going to recover much, much faster. I don't know if you remember this word, sarcopenia. Do you remember sarcopenia?
No, I never met him. But
he knows you.
Okay, well, that's good to know.
Sarcopenia is called a wasting away of the muscles. As you get older, your muscles get less and less. They get weaker and weaker and weaker. So sarcopenia is a wasting away of the muscles. They say one of the greatest signs of healthy aging is muscle mass. How strong are you? It's something called grip strength. We did this in a seminar. We have a thing you can grip in it. How many pounds per square inch you can do it. And we have a chart, depending on a 7-year-old, this is the average. You know, I'll bring it in. I'll bring it in maybe next week. We'll do grip strength.
Yeah.
Because it's a sign of how strong you are, and that's how well you age.
I can practice on my wife all week long. But I'm gonna have a good grip by next week.
So when I did the vets, I went around to all the guys, and we give out prizes, and whoever had for their age. Like a 20-year-old is going to have a larger, well, theoretically, a larger, stronger grip strength than a set, but not always. So, like maybe Arnold. Well, Arnold's up there now. Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm guessing he's got a pretty good. So anyway, so we went around to all the guys, and we had the grip, and we had some cute girl watching them, so that helped them. And oh, yours, this, and this. And then the guys got competitive. I want to try again. This, and this. So,
hey, we can do it in here with me and Lucky.
Yeah.
God, I can't wait to see Lucky squeeze that little ball.
I'm going to bring it. I'll bring it next week. We'll do a whole grip thing.
Oh boy! Hey, maybe Megan come in and give us a little incentive.
Yeah, Megan. We'll have Megan in a cheerleader costume. Go!
Yeah. All right.
So anyway, that's another thing you can do is you can figure out how well you're aging by your grip strength. How much muscle mass you have. But like we talked on the previous, the episode 1 of this, never take the elevator. Always take the stairs. It's the things you're doing in between. When you go to the grocery store, park a little bit further away. Make yourself walk. Make yourself walk there. It was interesting because I have a relative, and I think he's in his 80s. And he's in really good shape, and he has a nephew that was worrying about him. He goes out and he shovels snow.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of heart attacks this last snowstorm in UMass, a ton of them.
I went out and shoveled.
Yeah.
And they told me not to, but I did anyways.
There you go.
But can't you, I don't understand, why would shoveling cause a heart attack versus, working in your house, bending over, getting dishes, or...
Because you're lifting heavy things, and it raises your heart rate. And again, your heart's a muscle. So if you're straining the muscle, and plus you're not used to it. If I sent you to the gym now and say I want you to bench press 300 pounds, you're probably not going to be able to do it.
Right.
But if you started with 50 pounds, then next day you're building it up.
Okay.
I had a friend that worked on a farm that had a really bad heart attack. And we talked about, and I used to work in the lab. You would come in and you had a heart attack. I'm sure they did this with you. We drew something called cardiac enzymes. That's just a fancy word. An enzyme is something you give off when you have stress on your heart. You have damage to your heart. There's liver enzymes. There's all kinds of enzymes. And when that organ gets damaged, it gives off these enzymes.
Now, let me ask a quick question while I'm thinking of it. They can do a blood test to tell you whether you had a heart attack or not. Is that related to?
That's exactly what I'm going to get to.
Oh, good.
So I've got to go back into the time machine, back to my lab days. So there's 3 key enzymes for your heart. One of them is called CPK. The other one, I believe, is LD something or other. And there's a third, SGOT, SGBT, CPK is definitely. So there's an enzyme that's given off when you have the immediate heart attack, and that goes really, really high. Then there's one as you recover, and there's 3 of them. So we can look at those 3 different enzymes, and we could figure out when you had the heart attack.
How long does this blood test go for? Is it forever?
Yeah, you can see it. Yeah, in that fact, they could, if they do a normal thing, if they suspect that you had a heart attack, the first thing they're going to do is called an EKG. They put these monitors on you, and they can see how your rhythm of your heart. The enzymes, what they do is they actually show you the damage to your heart, and how the higher the number. Like if your CPK, let's say these numbers are random. Let's say the normal CPK, which is the enzyme given off as your heart, is 50, but yours is 150. We know you got some damage. You got some damage there. And then they can figure it out.
It's called
CPK.
CPK.
I've got.
But can it go back like 5 years, or is it?
No. It's going to be. There's 3. There's one of them is the immediate, which is CPK. I forgot the second one, and that's intermediate. And then the other one is long-term effect. So, in other words, you just had a heart attack. Your CPK would be elevated. The other 2 wouldn't be elevated because there's a longer term. Mm-hmm. So we can figure out. Pretty much when you had the heart attack based on those particular enzymes. Oh. So that's what I can guarantee they did. They did this when you went in there. They took that, so we can see what's going on. That's the same thing you talked before. You talked before about Steve Jobs and the pancreatic cancer. The pancreas gives off pancreatic enzymes, and we can see over there. So if they suspect any kind of a problem with you, okay, good example. When I see a client, I have them bring in the lab work with me, and if I can look at the lab work and say, oh yeah, your CPK is here, this is what's going on. Because it's kind of like you're in the car business, right? Did you guys, when I was really into cars, I know you get the Corvette, did you ever have your oil analyzed in terms of any damage done to the oil? You're not that crazy. Okay, I was that crazy when I had sports cars. But anyway, you could analyze the oil to see if little metal things are in there and stuff like that. And you can see it. But now they have those, what do they call it, as CPU in a car where they can, it's like a computer in the car and it monitors everything all the time. Okay, so that's kind of what blood tests do. So it lets you know what's going on with if the radiator's overheating, if you're it tells you all that stuff. You plug it in, the computer gives you the complete printout on that. That's what lab tests do. Lab tests let you know what's going on inside of you. That's why lab tests are really, really important to figure out what's going on under the hood.
Mm-hmm. One thing you mentioned about you get older, your muscle mass is going down. The doctor, when the last time I went there, she said I need to eat more red meat.
Yes.
Now, how can you eat red meat? Because isn't it fatty?
Okay. Well, this is the big misconception. In fact, if anybody wants, we're also doing a big seminar on this Friday at 10 o'clock at the Worcester Senior Center, and it's all going to be on heart.
And where's that? Where's that?
Worcester Senior Center is down by where the old St. Vincent Hospital used to be, and now it's Worcester Academy.
Oh yeah, Worcester Academy. Yeah.
But the old Worcester, that they have a brand new big thing. But but email me, philgeorge@charter.net. We're doing the Worcester Senior Heart. It's Heart Month, so we're doing it on heart, and I'm going to get into the whole thing about fat. This goes back years, and it's a misconception. There's healthy fat and there's unhealthy fat. Saturated fat is actually good for you. Okay, I know that's heresy for most people, but I can send you study after that. So what happens is there's 2 conditions your body's in. One of them is called anabolism. You've heard of anabolic steroids, like the bodybuilders, they make them big. Mm-hmm. Then there's catabolism.
Can't you tell?
Yeah.
No, look at this.
You're a juicer.
Look at these pythons.
You're a juicer. So there's anabolism, anabolic, your body builds up, and then there's catabolism, your body's breaking down. As you get older, you develop something called anabolic resistance. In other words, your muscles have a much harder time growing than they did when you were 20 years old. Yeah. It's called anabolic resistance. That's the reason why you come down with sarcopenia, wasting away the muscles. So you have to work harder as you get older to maintain it. So you have anabolic resistance. So what I suggest for people to do is basically what they call exercise snacks. All through the day, you're constantly working up the anabolic state. So I'm gonna show what I recommend for people. I did this. I feel on a rehab center in Worcester. I had them as a sponsor on the show. I had one guy brought me in as a consult, and he knew he was obese. He was clearly overweight. He says, "Look, I'm working 8 hours a day at this thing. I can't exercise. I'm too busy. Blah blah blah." And the rest of this. So this is what I did with him. And you can do this at home. This is called exercise snacks. So what you do is, all through the day, you want to do air squats like this. Do 10, do 20, do whatever you want. Just, once an hour, whatever. Then you go up against a table like this and you do table push-ups. So I said to him, I said, "Can you do that?" He says, "Yeah, I'm here. I get the desk. I can, yeah." I said, "Set your clock once an hour, once every 2 hours, whatever you want. Just do the exercise snacks." It's more effective. They've done tons of studies on this, Art. It's more effective for you to exercise throughout the day, like you do. You're going in the backyard. You're chasing the foxes away. You're doing all that stuff because you're constantly in motion. You're picking things up. When you worked at the car dealership, you were picking things up. You were moving around. You were doing this stuff. So you were doing those exercise snacks as part of your daily routine.
True, yeah. I know my watch will tell me every so I stand up, and you can, and it tells you to do different, which is pretty cool because it tells you got to get up and do something.
Everybody has a phone that will do that. Set it. You can set. I bet you anything. Right. I'll bet you $1 million. In fact, you can email me, philgeorge@chart.net. I'll bet you anything that you can get an app that will do that for you.
Yeah, and
It'll tell you get up and do it. There's a really good book called Atomic Habits by James Clear. It takes 28 days to form a new habit. Okay, what I do, my wife kids me on this. Even though I record the shows, but the commercials. Every commercial, I get up and I walk around. I do something. I either put dishes in the dishwasher. I'll do something. I'll just get up and walk around.
You're a good little homemaker. Yeah, got him. But how about this?
But I don't wear an apron. I refuse to wear an apron.
Oh, well, I'll have to get you one for Christmas. You may not have one, but Tai Chi walking is now, for some reason, everybody says this Tai Chi walking is going to build you into a muscle man. And what is Tai Chi?
I have no idea. I've never looked at it.
Have you ever heard of it?
I've heard of it. I see it all the time.
Oh, yeah, you see it all the time. You go on Facebook or anything, and they got these guy who looks like me, and then the next thing you see him, he looks like, well, me, but much better. Well, if that's possible. But
But he doesn't have your hair.
No. Well, I don't know. This guy had a pretty long hair. Yeah, but he jacked up, and he said, "All you got to do is Tai Chi, walking 20 minutes a day for a month, and this is what you're going to look like." Really?
But it's a lot easier to do exercise snacks.
No, that's what
it's a lot easier. I mean, you can.
Well, none of this is really straining. Like you're doing it on the desk, you're doing your thing. Like yesterday.
No, you can do. Do it. I want you to do it. Get up.
Oh, I can do it.
I know you can.
Well,
so
yeah.
Anybody can do. You're doing it from here. It's not that hard.
Right.
If you can do 10, then the next time do 11. It won't even take you a minute. You're doing squats. It's a minute.
This weather we've had lately has been much harder to do outside walking and this. Yesterday I'm in the house. And I walk for a half hour around the house. And then I do my exercises like, you step up, well, I'll just show you real quick. You do this,
Oh, yeah.
And that is great for your hips. And
yeah.
It was exercises for my knee when I went on, when I did physical therapy. That was one of the exercises.
But you know what that works? That works what's called your hip abductor muscles.
Oh, and you know what? I could feel it. And
Yeah.
I knew, you know what? I felt it. That means it's good.
Yeah, because that muscle is weak.
Yeah.
It's weak because your muscles are a kinetic chain. The weakest part is going to break down first. Your strongest part is going to take over. So you want your muscles. We want your muscles to be balanced. See, you're doing all these exercise snacks, but you didn't know you were doing exercise snacks,
No,
did
because
you?
I just can't sit, and there's no way I can just sit on the couch all day long. There's absolutely no way I could do that.
But see, that's the reason why, and I want the audience to get this. That's the reason why you recovered from the heart. That's the reason you recovered so well from the knee. That's why you're so active to this day. And the other thing, we're going to kind of jump ahead. So we're doing the brain stuff at the Greendale Y, but the other thing they found out with exercise, what it does is it helps the brain. Ready for another fancy word? So you have something called BDNF. That's
That people call me all the time that.
brain-derived neurotropic factor.
Oh, boy.
It's like
Yep.
miracle grow for your brain. By you exercising, it also increases this BDNF, which is miracle grow for your brain, and makes everything go better. So you don't realize it, but by you doing all this stuff you're doing, you're also helping your brain.
Oh, I can tell that right
So you're
away.
doing everything you're doing is basically helping.
Because I can go right in a room and go in there and say, why did I come in here? Must because I'm exercising. No. Well,
I can tell. This guy, he runs this whole freaking station. He has all this thing going on. I mean, if his brain wasn't working, I'm guarantee you, he wouldn't be able to do all this stuff. So, I mean, you're the perfect prototype, perfect example of what people should do. So, I mean, again, what's the expression? The proof is in the pudding. So you're the pudding, and the proof is in you.
Yeah, hey, you want to taste some of this pudding sometime? Come on down. We are here on Tuesday mornings, actually, at the Leicester Community Access Channel, which is located in the town hall. It's 10 o'clock in the morning if you ever, on Tuesdays. If anybody wants to come in and, sit down and watch a show, more than welcome.
Or you can come on and be a guest.
Email Phil George at his email, and this is very interesting. I met Phil. We've been doing the show for a couple of years, and I'm going to be honest with you, really very, very knowledgeable guy, very, very smart man. And,
well, thank you. But the other thing is, I have a Rolodex. I have access to so many medical professionals, and Art will tell you that. So many medical professionals that are in private practice that if I can certainly refer you to other people. So we have a very large group of people, medical professionals. Like I say, I got Dr. Emily, I got Kelly, I got Dr. Roos,
wonderful guy,
Yeah.
wonderful guy. Every one of your guests have been really sensational. But once again, give me your email address, and if you guys want to come in and see a show, nothing fancy, but it is pretty cool.
Yeah, see the magic behind.
What is your email again?
It's Phil George, PhilGeorg @charter.net. So Phil George @charter.net. Is that up at the screen? Yes, it is. It's up on the screen.
Oh, look at that. Lucky
Lucky.
Magadonna. That guy is on the ball. You know what I mean? I don't care what you say about him. The guy is good.
What I said about it was in confidence. You're not supposed to-
Okay. Well, all right. Don't take that out there, Lucky. Anyways, but really a good show. I'm glad I was on, and I'd come on anytime to chit chat.
I like this. Because Russ produces. Russ produces my TV, my radio show, and I like about it because again, if he has the questions, other people have the questions. So in other words, I like the dialogue a lot better than me just blah 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 for a half an hour. So yeah, we'd love to have you on the show again. And as long as Lucky can handle it, he doesn't fall asleep at the board, we'll be okay.
He's been really on the ball. That guy is like, he's like a woo.
And you said you're giving him a raise, right?
Oh, my goodness gracious. Yeah. Well, we got to wrap it up.
We're going to wrap it up. Oh, don't forget, Greendale Y on Sunday
noontime.
at noontime. And we
Worcester,
have
Mass.
Worcester. We have the Worcester Senior Center on Friday at 10 o'clock. It's going to be recorded on the big cable station in Worcester, so it's going to be big time. It's going to be big time.
Big boy.
Okay, guys, thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll be back next week. If you want to come on, email me, philgeorge@charter.net. You can just sit in if you want to just check it out. Okay, see you guys next week. One of the most common questions I'm asked as a biochemist and health coach is, what are the best supplements to take? Choosing supplements is a tricky business. Many companies have poor quality control and questionable ingredients. In the past, I had to send clients to several different websites. I am now able to offer one-stop shopping for all the quality brands I recommend with no shipping cost and a lower price in most cases. Just email me, philgeorge@charter.net, for a free consult.